Hey lovies, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Aries Only, where I channel messages for Aries only. Today we're doing a reading to check in on the energies of this full super moon in Taurus that's happening tomorrow on November 15th at 4:28. So let's go ahead and start off with a quick crystal reading. I picked this crystal blind, closed my eyes, I felt the energies calling to me. So I'm noticing this like underside, how it's like crystallized. It's more of like the color of ice. I don't know what you call that, clear. And then on this side, it's like this deep, gorgeous blue, reminding me of the third eye chakra, but also the mind, kind of the realm of Pisces, like Neptune, like a more Neptunian way of thinking and looking at the world. Something that I'm noticing as well is I'm getting a sense of like ice melting and emotions being allowed to flow. But the way that I'm thinking about Pisces, I feel like Pisces is associated with the mind as well as the emotions. It's like the subconscious mind as well. So it's almost like things are becoming clear that were hidden from us by our own subconscious mind. Things that we maybe just couldn't be aware of, like the pieces of the puzzle didn't fit yet, so we couldn't see the whole picture. And now it's like the ice is melting, here comes the sun. I'm getting the vibe of like, here comes the sun, not necessarily in the way of like, here comes the sun, great times ahead. Could be, I'm not saying that it's not that, but more like, here comes the illumination, here comes the clarity. And we are dealing with a full moon in Taurus, which means that the sun is in Scorpio, two fixed energy. So again, these are like energies that I feel like have, these are like ways of being that are very ingrained, belief systems, perceptions that are just have been shaped from a very young age, possibly like emotions that are like deeply like stuck, and shadows and things from our childhood and growing up and things like that. So when we have the moon in Taurus and the sun in Scorpio. The sun in Scorpio, again, is making me think of like clarity and illumination on our shadow self. It's like things that we just like have to see about maybe some ways that we have been wrong or acting, again, based on evidence that we didn't have, like we were acting without all the facts or something like that. And the Scorpio Taurus axis is all about finding peace, but it's like in two different ways. Like, and if, okay, so you might want to check your north node and your south node, but if you do have a north node in Scorpio, that would mean you have a south node in Taurus, or if you have a north node in Taurus, it would mean you have a south node in Scorpio, because the axes are always, I don't have the plural of axis, but the axis placements are always like opposite signs. So even if you don't have those north nodes, though, the relationship between these two signs is basically about trying to find peace. In Scorpio, it's trying to find peace through going within, like dealing with your shadow, trying to look within at your feelings and your emotions. And when we are talking about Taurus, which is the highlight of this reading, of course, but it's about trying to find that peace almost outside of yourself. And it can be healthy or unhealthy, either end of the spectrum here, but like it would be like self-care. It would be like trying to make yourself feel better by like taking a bath, or like taking like a nice hot shower, going to get a massage, like getting into this, sinking into your body and exercise and the more sensual sides of life kind of a feeling, as opposed to trying to go within and heal yourself. And again, like I said, there's a shadow side to each end of the spectrum. So like if you're trying to find peace by doing shadow work and healing work, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze, give me one quick second. Chew, excuse me. Chew. Oh my god. It could, like, you know, be a sense of you feeling like, oh, there's still more to do, there's more healing, like I'm not good enough yet, I'm not good enough yet. No, you're inherently good. So that's something to keep in mind. And I feel like this is, again, maybe something that you're seeing is almost like that's what this like ice is melting, and you're kind of like seeing yourself a little bit more clearly, again realizing that you didn't have all the facts. So that's like naturally lending itself to forgiveness. If not yet, then I think that that is how this process is going to go. Yeah, I feel like there's also a sense of like maybe you feeling like you were stuck in an energy of indecision for a long time, or inaction. And again, like I said, this ice is melting, and it's almost helping you to rediscover or to finally uncover like the sharpness that of your mind and your ability to think critically, to make decisions, to use your intelligence in a way, and your knowing and your intuition. Even with this is like looking like the third eye chakra. This is allowing you to tap into your authenticity and make decisions based off of that, but maybe you weren't even in touch with that because again there was like this crystallized energy over top of like, it almost looks like water, but I'm not getting water. I'm more so getting air energy, like thinking energy, mental energy, but it's almost like the emotions need to flow for you to even understand what you even want to do and then be able to make a decision. So that's what I'm getting off the bat. Yeah, I guess we'll just put this crystal here. I feel like I wanted to say one more thing, but if I think of it, I will tell you. So, all right, let's go ahead and just check in on the energies. What are the energies coming through with this full moon in Taurus? What is the energy coming through? And once again, I just wanted to remind you guys, if you are enjoying the reading so far, if you're responding well to my vibe and my energy and you would like to support me, please don't hesitate to like, to comment on my video, or also to like let me know what other readings you might want to see, as well as subscribing, because it would really help me out and I would really appreciate it. But okay, what is going on with Aries right now? What is the energy coming through for Aries? And a full moon in Taurus, you can correct me if I'm wrong, astrology peeps out there. I'm like somewhat informed on astrology, but not everything. But it's my understanding that like Aries, when you have a sun in Aries, like whatever moon it is corresponds to the correct house it should be in. So for instance, this is Taurus and like the second house are associated. So when you have Aries, it's like this moon is going to be in your second house. So it's going to be related to all things Taurus. And then from what I was understanding, reading how this moon would affect the various signs, it was like going in descending order. Like, so the next sign after Aries is Taurus. So this moon would be in their first house, like, because it was the second house was Aries, so then it was descending order. So the first house for Taurus Geminis would be like the 12th house. Do you know what I'm saying? So you could correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what was my understanding based off of what I just read. Okay, so how is this energy coming through for Aries though? Okay, but yeah, I am getting this energy of like your thought process has been revolutionized, or something about the way that what you value, or something has shifted and like revolutionized something for you. Okay, let's see what is going on here. Okay, that's like way too many. But we have Grand Cross Provoker, 4th house, Roots, Jupiter, Abundance, 7th house, Partners. So this could be relating to like a love situation. We have Lunar Eclipse Change. This could be something happen to kind of like jab you and bring you a little bit pain, jab you right out of your comfort zone. But I think this is something that's going to manifest something good for you. That's just, you know, we're not going to take all those obviously, but let's see what else. Just one. What is the energy of this full moon in Taurus for Aries? Please, one card, please. The Sun, Spirit, and Aquarius. I know. Yeah, there's something here about something being illuminated, some sort of knowledge coming to you. Very interesting. The Sun, Spirit, and sort of like, was I saying Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles? Because that song was like stuck in my head, but that's so funny if I didn't say it, but Here Comes the Sun, like literally. Also, I was getting, before I forget, the energy of the song Bleeding Love by Leona Lewis, where it's like time starts to pass before you know it, you're frozen, and then you keep bleeding love. And even like the energy, because I'm thinking of that song Bleeding Love, but it's like blood is life. Now I'm thinking of Buffy and that episode The Gift, where he's like saying like it's always got to be blood, like blood is life, it's why we drink it. Like he's a vampire obviously, but and almost like there's a card, I think it's called Blood, in one of my Wild Unknown decks. I think the Wild Unknown Alchemy, where it talks about how like the energy of blood, like when you see blood, it's just such a vibrant red color and it like shocks you, it jolts your heart because it's like like someone's, and actually that's weird, that happened. This girl at work had like a nosebleed yesterday, and like I like walked over and I saw like all this blood. I was like, oh my god, like it's just like it's shocking when you see blood, it like jolts your heart. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening to you guys, like or the something about this moon is making things melt away, things come to the surface, things to be illuminated, and in almost like a shocking way that like makes you jolt and like want to live. Oh my god, I'm hearing so many songs. How to Mend a Broken Heart by Al Green, when he's like, I just want to live again, like that part. I did not sing that on key or in the way it's actually sung at all, but it's kind of like at the end when he's like, I just want I'm not gonna get into the whole thing, but like that part. Okay, if you listen to it, live again. Ow. All right, sorry. All right, so what else is coming through for Aries? Okay, we have community and the journey on the bottom of the deck. Let me just put this here, and then I'm also going to grab 2 of these. What's coming through this full moon in Taurus for Aries? So we have also the number 1 and the number 7. Again, now this is making me think of the axis of Aries and Libra, the 1st and the 7th house. And we did have that 7th house card fall out earlier as well. But what is Aries? What energies are coming through for Aries during this full moon in Taurus? Okay. I am allowed to say no. Let's just get one more. Oh, just one, please. Thank you. I release physical and emotional tension to create space for flow. And bottom is, when my dreams feel scary, it means that I am on the right path. So there's definitely an energy here of fear running the show. And learning how to recognize the difference between operating out of fear, out of subconscious triggers, and the shadow self, like calling the shots. I feel like this is an energy of the shadow coming to light. Like we were talking about the ice melting, we're realizing things about ourselves and the way we were operating. And this is our light side taking the wheel. And light as in the side that has like seen all the facts. It's almost like the subconscious is leaking in to the conscious. And we're thinking about the way that we have been moving through the world, and also the way that we have been relating to other people, and the way that our behavior and the way we've been treating other people and our perceptions of other people based on our own shadow. And I believe this is kind of like a big review for you guys. I feel that there's some sort of big release. This is, I release physical and emotional tension. So this could be happening through tears and crying. The way that the ice is melting is making me think of like thawing out. Remember how I was talking about blood? I'm just getting like things flowing out of you. Like I know that sounds weird, but even when I just sneezed when I was talking about it before, it could even be in that way. Even like when you quit, like I don't know if you've ever quit like tobacco products, but when you start coughing up, it's like, but it's like a healing process, even though it hurts, but it's like coming out. It's like that kind of a vibe, like things are coming out. This is a supermoon in Taurus. So it makes sense that this would be an extra charged, huge release kind of a vibe. The number 1 and the number 7, the 1 is kind of showing that there's a new beginning, like a new start, but with the way that you are going to be approaching life from now on, it's like, this always looks to me, I don't know if you can see it, it looks almost like a primitive figure. Like there's his eyes, it looks like those are his little hands. It almost looks like Egyptian hieroglyphics, but it almost looks like there's a lever And this is like a wheel, and almost like you're gonna be operating again with all the facts, with everything illuminated, almost like this is the wheel of like your conscious mind. This is the shadow, or actually I think this is the shadow. I don't know, this looks like a sun to me. So it's almost, obviously I know this is supposed to be the sun on this card, but this looks like a circle with like lines poking out, and this looks like a spiral. I don't know, it's just making me think of like going down and then anyway, okay, whatever. But sorry, I always like to explain where I'm like getting these, why I'm saying what I'm saying, but it might be a little too much. But anyway, this is reminding me, this is making me think that like, oh, now that I'm seeing how both of these sides are working together, like, again, I'm going to like pull this lever instead and make this happen instead, and go about things in a different way. I feel that there's a sense of wanting to use what you've learned, and I'm allowed to say no. I'm not more necessarily getting you always wanting to say no to things, but I'm getting you looking at your decision-making process in a new way, like we were talking about, and realizing like, yes, I'm allowed to say no. I'm allowed to say yes. I'm allowed to like find out what I really want to say yes and no to, and discover that as well. So let's grab some, we're going to come back to this, but I just want to grab some Moonology cards. What is an energy that Aries is going to be letting go of as a result of this full moon in Taurus? What is an energy we're letting go of? Okay, we have a full moon in Cancer. A personal issue reaches a resolution. Okay. And what's an energy that needs to be seen? Hold your vision. Fixed moon, which we do have a fixed moon right now because fixed energy is Taurus, and we have that Taurus moon happening right now. And what is an energy that is getting ready to emerge for us? Okay, full moon in Leo. The overall energy for this reading is expect powerful change. And then we're also going to get 2 of these. So what's an energy that Aries is going to slay this full moon? They're just gonna like work with it so well. It's gonna be a harmonious exchange. It's gonna make them feel good. It's gonna make them feel something. What is that energy going to be that they're harmonizing with during this full moon? The 8 of Wands. Okay. What is an energy? Okay. With the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Very clear message. Love that. Knight of Swords. And then what is an energy that's going to be a little bit challenging for Aries during the course of this full moon? Let me just give it one more quick shuffle. Sorry. That won't let me riffle. Okay. What is an energy that is going to be challenging? Oh, for Aries to deal with. Energy. The Knight of Pentacles with the 2 of Cups. Very interesting. Page of Swords overall. So I think that what you're gonna really enjoy or be working well with this full moon is that things are going to feel like they're moving again. The 8 of Wands is like one of the fastest, if not the fastest card in the deck. We also had the Knight of Wands underneath, another crazy, intensely fast-paced kind of a card, with the 7 of Pentacles slipping out in reverse. We're enjoying the fact that we're done waiting here. We've seen stuff. It's making us go in motion. Like our life feels like it's moving again. There's action, there's desire, there's a fire behind thing. There's energy here, like, that is moving us. We have fire. The fire is what's getting ready to emerge onto your life. We have that very clearly. And the Cancer energy is what we're letting go of. So I feel like we're like letting go of water, like, and more so transcending into this like fire energy. We're going from feminine energy to masculine. So Leo is ruled by the sun, so this is like lining up beautifully. Also with 8 of Wands, when I think of an 8, I think of the Strength card, an 8 fire card especially. So there's like a lot of Leo energy here. I feel like you're going to really be enjoying the fast pace of things. I feel like this is the energy of being busy. Like perhaps you were in a period of like waiting and thinking and planning and waiting for things to manifest and harvest and things like that. With the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, it's almost like they either have or they haven't, if that makes sense. Like maybe what you were investing in did bear fruit. Maybe it didn't though, and your answer was a no. And that no, or that closed door, or that ending, or that realization that, okay, this isn't the way I want to do things anymore, this isn't going to give me the payout that I expected, is allowing you to move forward in a positive way. It's almost like you had to be pulled back like an arrow and then bloop, down flying. It looks like an arrow on this 8 of Wands, like a single arrow, almost like whew. But it's like with the force of 8 behind it. It's like, let me move towards things that are actually going to bring me abundant energy. Like if I'm going to invest in something and it's just going to be a dud, it's going to be like a bad investment. Like I'm ready to just cut my losses and move on from the situation. Like, okay, this was a bad idea. Okay, this didn't work out. Maybe this is you like saying no to things and being like, okay, like now that I'm more so getting in touch with my true desires. I feel like this isn't more so about your emotions as much as it's about your desires. Like you getting in touch with what you actually desire and want. And maybe you were like, again, cut off from it, trying to please other people in the community, whether it's family, friends, whoever. You were more so worried about them. And again, this axis, this Aries Libra axis that I'm kind of picking up on here with this 1st and 7th house, well, the number 1 and 7 that's reminding me of the 1st and 7th house, is trying to discern and find that balance of like what's best for me and what's best for the energy of the group, and how can I compromise and how can I stick with my own desires and visions for my own future while also working with the people around me, realizing that like I am allowed to say no. But maybe again, the fact that I feel like you were so cut off from your emotions and things were frozen and you weren't realizing how much your shadow was playing a role is making me think that you could have unknowingly hurt others. You could have, again, you didn't have all the pieces, all the facts of even yourself to know what was like truly going on. And maybe something has definitely been illuminated for you here that has made you really think about the way that you interact with other people. With full moon in Cancer, this is an energy that we're releasing, that needs to be released, that we're letting go of. Full moon in Cancer is a very emotional, very intense sort of a moon. I'll never forget, I went through like a full moon in Cancer in 2020, like in January, and it was one of the worst nights of my life. Like, I don't know, it just like brings stuff up. Like it really does. Like this energy is something that brings issues to the forefront, really brings like the deep-seated things that we have maybe stuffed down for a long time. It's just, it comes up like during these times. So this is like the vibe that I'm getting. I release physical and emotional tension. I feel like there was a big release here with this moon. Maybe you're even still going through it right now. Maybe it will continue for a couple of days. Like the moon energy can be felt like days before and after. But it's something that, again, a personal issue. Maybe what's going to be highlighted for you guys is something like that paints a picture, or I don't know, like, how am I trying to say this? You're going to realize that like something that was like long buried from the past that maybe you thought wasn't affecting you is affecting you. Something maybe, again, like a mother figure with the full moon in Cancer. Something emotional, though. It could be like a bad breakup that you had or something like that. Some sort of issue, some sort of trauma from the past that I think you thought you were numb to But I think all the pain, like that water energy, just kind of like solidified and froze and kept your true emotions and desires like on ice for like such a long time. But I feel like that, again, the ice is finally melting, like that song Here Comes the Sun. And it's like these issues are allowed to come to the surface and be released, that emotional tension, and it's creating space for flow, which is kind of the vibe I was getting from this crystal all along. So I love that this is coming through like this. And Cancer is an energy that is stuck in a comfort zone, and it's fourth house energy. So I feel like that's another thing that we're letting go of as well. Like, we're ready to have this new start. We're ready to see new things. I'm getting like with the Eight of Wands, we want to move forward. We want to have new experiences, you know? So what energy needs to be seen right now? I feel that withhold your vision. I feel like you need to see that, like, I feel like you have a sense maybe that something is lost for you, or you've had a vision, or you've had an idea, maybe like, I'm almost getting a sense here that you feel like you've messed something up, but like there's just feelings coming up that are making you feel that way. And what needs to be seen right now is that if you have some sort of a dream and it's truly a desire of your heart or something, and it might be romantically related with the Two of Cups being here, all is maybe not lost. And like, I feel like there's an energy of like, don't be afraid. It's like almost like you're halfway there, and maybe like really resolving this issue, this personal issue, and letting the ice melt a little bit is sort of preparing you for the next step of the journey. And but it is like a big step. It's like almost like you feel like you went backwards, or that you're looking back on whatever happened and the way that you were acting, and you're realizing the steps, the missteps that you took. But I feel like Spirit's like, no, like, hold your vision. What needs to be seen now is that there's still a way, and that this is all part of the process as well. What feels like a mistake to you was just another step along the path. And look where you're at this point now, where there's like this beautiful revelation and this beautiful vision of what your life could be. But it's almost like you feel like you messed it up and it's not going to be there. And I feel like with don't let pride get in your way is like the next part of the journey here being represented. I feel like there is still more to be released. I release physical and emotional tension to create space for flow. I feel like there is a feeling of pride. There is a feeling of, obviously it says pride on this card, but there is a feeling of not wanting to risk the embarrassment or risk the way that, almost like to go after something that your heart wants, because Leo energy is about the heart, but it's also an energy of pride and ego. So it's like, to me, like that battle between the two of them. So I don't know, like you could feel very compelled to take a step with the Knight of Pentacles, to make some sort of a gesture towards some sort of romantic gesture. It's interesting that it's not the Knight of Cups though, because I think with the Knight of Pentacles and the Two of Cups being here, it shows that you're taking something a little bit more seriously. We have a lot of fixed energy here. Like, we're leaving behind this Cancer energy, which is cardinal energy, and then we're moving forward with this fixed energy. So I feel like this is something you want to create, some stability for your future. You want to, I feel like, yeah, extend an offer, extend a cup to somebody, but of solid cup. It's like Ace of Pentacles with the Ace of Cups combo, or like Knight of Cups with the Knight of Pentacles combo, where it's like it's not just something flighty or flimsy. It's like has that staying power, that fixed energy, that pentacles energy behind it. I feel that you are very interested in taking a step like that. But again, this is coming through as what's going to be challenging to you. This is your desire coming through, and this might be where your pride is getting in the way. This might be what is difficult for you, being able to like lower that pride, to lower that wall, to let the ego rest and be able to move forward on what your heart is truly desiring, to kind of balance out the heart and the ego. The ego is important. It doesn't mean that we need to like, you know, forsake our ego. Our ego always wants to protect us and keep us from getting hurt. But a lot of times the ego can be conditioned through past traumas and past pain and past embarrassment and shame, and knee-jerk react us into missing out on certain things that our heart is compelling us to move forward on. So that's something very important to keep in mind. Like, is this my ego? Is this something that I'm very compelled to move towards? So is the risk worth it in this case? Yes or no? That's something that you have to decide for yourself. You are allowed to decide no, if that is the way that you would like to feel, you know, if that's the way you truly feel. But I do feel like there is some sort of desire, long lost desire, making itself known to you that you feel compelled to act on. But again, it's something that is a challenge for you. But at the same time, you are excited about moving forward, but actually taking that step, when you imagine it, it's like, I think it brings up a sense of fear. So, okay, let's grab some advice for you guys. Okay. What advice does Aries need? This full moon. And Taurus. What is the advice for Aries? Oh my God, no. Wait, postpone, pause, and say no. So I feel like the way, now that I'm seeing that with this, I'm not so much getting the no, as in like, no, this isn't right for you. I'm more so getting the wait and the postpone. Because again, I feel that you're very compelled to move forward towards something. It could be love, but it doesn't have to be that. It could be something else. But if you feel hesitant with this, I feel like you could be like halfway through your own personal awakening or journey here. So I don't know. Let's get more. But we have like, I'm allowed to say no and no coming through. So very interesting. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy and align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change. So I feel like I'm getting an energy here of like, you needing to figure out, like, again, I feel like a big part of yourself was cut off for so long. So you could be eager to sort of like, again, extend an offer of friendship or romantic interest towards somebody. Two of Cups, I would say it's most likely romantic, but it's a partnership of some time. We had the seventh house coming through. I'm so sorry, earlier in the reading as well. So I feel that there needs to be a sense for you guys where it's like, we're learning how to take this new energy and discover our own true desires and our own, like, have this journey with ourselves for a little bit of time first. That's why this wait and this postpone energy is coming through. But I feel like for a specific situation, not for exploring this energy in general on your own. I feel like also there are things that need to be like sixth house things, which is reminding me of addictions, habits, routines that need to be maybe created or readjusted. Something in our life is not lining up. Maybe we're excess. I was getting a lot of like Neptune energy, so that could be drinking or escapism things, daydreaming, even maladaptive daydreaming, things like that. I feel like there needs to be more so like an energy of like action taken, like working out or trying things that we've always wanted to try, getting things moving, opening up a savings account. I don't know, something like that. Any other advice we can get for Aries? Sub Rosa, hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning and teaching. Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? This is too many, I just want to get one. What is the advice for Aries currently, Spirit? And play, have fun, celebrate, and don't be so serious. I feel like you could be like really overthinking everything that happened and almost feeling like you should be punished or you should be held accountable or like that you're a terrible person. I feel like there is this message here of like, if you saw something hidden in plain sight, you're learning and there were things, secrets and things that were hidden, mysteries about your own self that like you just couldn't see. There's no need to beat yourself up. Now that you see it, you see it. And if you don't know, you don't know. And when you know, you know. I also want to get my own homemade message deck and get advice from there. But like, if you didn't know what you were doing and you didn't know what was like, you didn't have all the facts of the situation, or you just were physically like incapable of seeing it for whatever reason. Sorry if you can't hear me, I'm like over here. But there's no need to beat yourself up for that, because now you're starting to see things and you can act accordingly. There's this big message of like trying to like go after some fun things. And I feel like almost if you went after something here, especially if this is someone from the past or something that you feel like you messed up, a relationship you messed up, it's almost like you would be getting validation from them instead of like almost doing it the way of like forgiving yourself and building up that self, that sense of self and that sense of pride and that self-love and that all that self stuff that's so good for you to like build up. It's like maybe somebody could come in and make you feel better, and it doesn't even mean that this isn't a relationship that you can't revisit at some other point in time. But I think you need to learn how to make yourself happy first. I feel like you have a lot of stuff going on right now. It's like a little bit chaotic on your end. So you need to sort of like step up, find your fun, find like balance fun and responsibility, learn how to be a leader, learn also how to take a back seat, learn like balance, realize that you have a right to your joy. It says it right here on this card, peace, sweetness of life. And again, that's what this whole moon I think is about, you trying to find your peace. And that's very important for you. Don't jump the gun. I think what's going to also be challenging is you having to wait because you feel like it's not the right time, but you wish it was. Okay, what else do we have here? We have trust the strange and mysterious at this time. What other advice? But yeah, that whole like mystery, like, I don't know, especially if kind of like woo stuff is going on, I feel like trust it. I feel like it's supposed to be happening. Maybe you're not too sensitive. You're just surrounded by assholes. No one is responsible for your life except for you. And maybe even in this situation, like you were the asshole, you weren't in touch with your emotions, and you were maybe thinking other people were too sensitive or other people were being like ridiculous, but they were just maybe, now you're realizing that you're more in touch with your emotions, that maybe they were as well. And like, you were wrong to judge them. So I feel like you kind of like feel bad. And especially if this was like romantic or something like that, you could feel like you want to reach out to them and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Or if this was you and you were the sensitive one, you're like realizing that like, you know what, it's okay to feel the way that I feel, and I don't have to like hide it anymore. I don't have to feel bad about it. The world is sleeping and all is well. A mantra for anxiety. If things are causing you anxiety right now, that's something you could just, when you lay down, listening to meditative sleep music or something, I feel like you need to rest at this time and really gather your strength. The worst thing in life, I feel like I want to put that there, sorry. Oh, the worst thing in life is not failure, it's regret. So now that you have this new info, the only thing you can do is like try to live your life in accordance with your true values. Like it's not failure. You can learn from a failure, but you don't want to regret things moving forward. Explore your curiosities and learn something new. And sometimes the heart knows in a way that the logical mind can't. So yeah, there is this sense of like your heart and your mind kind of connecting for the first time. Heart and brain coherence, that's a meditation I listen to all the time. That might help you right now because I feel like that's what you need. Like you need those two things to start working in harmony for you and to start fostering that relationship within yourself. So that's somewhere you could start. So, all right, guys, hope this reading helped you understand this intensities, the intense energies coming through with this full moon. God bless. I wish you all the love and luck and happiness in the world. Play with stuff, explore curiosities, and work on your responsibilities as well. Give yourself a break. You deserve it. Look up Ho'oponopono and do it with yourself. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Say it to this person, even if you can't like reach out to them and talk to them. If you feel guilt for the way you acted, or you feel like you were too sensitive in the situation, or you feel like you were like almost betraying yourself by like betraying your own emotions or something like that, like try to heal. There's Reiki Rachel. She has this series, oh my god, it's like Unlocking Your Magic, but it's the heart chakra one. It's a playlist that she has, that if you have a specific situation that you want to forgive the person, forgive yourself, and like kind of heal the whole situation, that's something you can look at if there's one specific situation like bogging you down. It really works. So, all right, guys, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this reading, and I will catch you in the next one, okay? Bye.